Now, Lodox started in a mining company and detecting diamonds. Perhaps you could talk about how the company started and how you got into the forensic pathology market and what you offer to that market.
I just want to start with something else that I think is more important that we need to focus on, and that Linda hit on, and that's time. Time that you need to price time. What's the value of time in rand value? And that's something the South African government don't always realize or see. I'll always quote a famous, or not a famous, a very good case from Linda that she had an autopsy to be done. It took her 18 to 20 hours. And a similar thing using technology brings it down to 15 or 30 minutes. So what's the value of that saving of time? If you need to see, we need to do 12, 15 cases a day, and it's not only the time doing that case. Afterwards, these people must go, they must sit down, they must write reports, they must do all of that. And they need all the information to do that. So, and there are only so many hours in a day. So government must start to realize that the technology can help to bridge the gap, to save them time, and by spending some money on technology, helping people, the whole thing could be more effective, because the biggest constraint we have in this country is resources. We do not have human resources, we do not have all the skills that's available in Europe or in the States. So technology must bridge that gap, because to get the human resources and train them is going to take much longer than that, and technology is available. So the focus must change. So why are we here, and why do we help to facilitate this discussion? It's actually sad that we must facilitate this discussion, that it doesn't come naturally from the powers that be. And that is, we've developed this machine, Xmplar-dr, De Beer's diamond company. They had a problem of loss of diamonds, and they had to see how can they prevent that. And X-rays, we've got full body pictures here of X-rays. X-rays is a very, very good way of seeing that. But to see a diamond on an X-ray is very, very difficult, because you see right through it. So image quality was quite important. It was very important to see a large image. You don't have the time to take lots of single images. You can imagine if a queue of thousands of miners coming through a machine, and you want to see if they swallowed or hide any diamonds. You can't use 2-3 hours after every shift. So it must be quickly, it must be rapidly. Big image, very good image quality. And that engineers developed this technology, South African developed, South African born, and it was brilliant. And then as soon as that was there, we realized that why don't we make a medical machine? I mean, there's nothing still today in the medical world that can do what we do. And that is taking a large format X-ray, 1.8 meters by 700 millimeters, so the size of a full-grown body, within 13 seconds at as good image quality as any other digital X-ray, many times somewhat better. And that saves time. So a full image study can be done in minutes, versus any other conventional X-ray equipment takes 20 to 30 minutes if you have a relative normal case. And unfortunately, as we heard here, you don't deal with normal cases.
Many times.
Jonathan asked questions about 30, 40 years ago. We're still there. We are 30, 40 years ago. We are not where we can be. And that's the problem, and that's why people like Juanita and Linda and Lorna are frustrated, and they can't get to do what they do. And Dave is very, very fortunate to convince the right people to get what he has. And if people can just see the benefit of spending some money and resources now, what it can do in the next years, we can change this whole service in this country around without spending too much money and make it much better. And we believe, although we only address one part of the problem, it's quite an important part, I think, and we can prevent time being wasted on things that's not necessary, and that's what we've developed.